Hi, welcome to this second video on how to keep your Rails application dependencies updated and secure. Yesterday we looked at using the bundler audit gem to check for security vulnerabilities, and today we are going to look at how to actually update all the gems in our gem file so that we're using the latest versions. The latest versions might include optimizations as well as the security patches, bug fixes and so on. So the first thing we're going to do is we're using the same application, very standard Rails application, and what I'm going to do is just have a quick look through the gem file again so we can see we're using Rails 5.1, Postgres, and then I've got a couple of common gems in here. I'm using Carryaway for file uploads, Fog, AWS for uploading images and uploads to the S3 system, and Magic for processing thumbnails and things like that. And there's a couple of other gems as well that we're just using in this app. So I know that a few of those may be out of date, and the way I can check for that is to run the bundle outdated command. Now what that's going to do is it goes off to the Ruby Gems server and it checks for the latest versions of all the gems and then compares it against the gems that we're actually using in our application. Okay, so bundler's come back and it's telling us that there are 5 gems that are out of date, and what it will do, it reports the currently installed version. So this is what's actually in our gemfile.lock. It reports the requested version, so that's the version we asked for in the original gem file, and then it's showing us the latest version that's on Ruby Gems, the Ruby Gems server. So one of the things to be aware of is that all the gems use what's called semantic versioning. So they all have a 3-digit version number. They are the major version number, the minor version number, and the patch level version number. And the idea of semantic versioning is that we know, for example, if we're going to upgrade from 1.0 to 1.1, there's not going to be any breaking changes in that code. So everything that's in a minor update will be backwards compatible with the version that we're installing. If is in the case of Magic, there's a major upgrade, so we can see the currently installed version we have is version 3.6, but the newest version on Ruby Gems is 4.8. Then there's very likely, if not certainly, going to be some breaking changes between those updates. So unless we actually want to go through and make changes to our application's code, then we probably don't want to upgrade to that major version just yet, and perhaps put it off for a kind of a bigger development. So what I tend to do to avoid seeing those ones is if you rerun the outdated command, bundle outdated command, we can actually filter it. So I filter it to show any minor upgrades. Okay, so now that's come back, and what bundle's done, because we've put the filter in, it's only going to show us gems that we can safely update based on the version that's currently installed in our gem file. So here we've got, say, version 2.0.0, and the latest version that we can install to is 2.7.0 without causing any breaking changes with our existing code. So in order to do that, we can see the 4 that are there. A couple of these are probably going to be dependencies, but what we'll do is we'll start with Carryaway. So we've currently got 1.0.0 installed, and that's based on the fact that we've requested 1.0.0 or above, or this kind of fuzzy above operator, which means that it will upgrade anything in the last digit. So it will go to 101, 102, 103, but it will never go to 1.1. So what we can do is if we go into our gem file, we can tell Carryaway to update to 1.1.0, and we can also just come back and look at the Fog AWS. We've currently 1.3.0, and we can now go up to 1.4. So if we come back here, we can just tell Ruby Gems or Bundler to install 1.4.0 or above. Okay, so now if we run bundle update, Okay, so now Bundler has gone off. It's updated the gems based on our gem file, and you can see that we've upgraded carrier wave to 1.1.0 from 1.0.0, and we've upgraded fog AWS as well based on our new requirements. So now if we rerun the outdated command, now we can see that Bundler has reported only the remaining two gems that we need to update, which is JBuilder and WebSocket Driver. So we can do the same thing, go into our gem file and manually update those. Okay, so that's how you can update your Ruby gem files and check the latest versions against the versions that are installed in your app. I hope you found this video useful. Again, please let me know how you get on by leaving a comment down below, and if you'd like to see any more of these screencasts, just hit subscribe to get notified when they're published.